And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line.
So this game, Charles, you know, we talk about potential unbeaten seasons a lot. It feels like every year at some point in the season we talk about that. But this is one of those games where if you
I both know the funny things sometimes happen when you think this way. So it's incumbent upon the starters to really play well to make it work for this team.
Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do, because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. But it's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one at 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that one or two guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board. And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Throwing, Jones. Flush to his right. And the ball is out. Jones got hit and lost it. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you've got that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
Now Jones. He gets it left side to Johnson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. A gain of 6 there on first.
Second and 4. Now Jones just going to bat this forward on the jet sweep.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally taken down at the 34. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
It's a gain of 20. And the Steelers first down.
Looking to throw. Jones. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On the give, this is Harris. Finding room to the 20. He'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9.
45 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times. It looks like a jumbo set with 3 tight ends here for 1st and goal.
Back to throw. Jones. Escaping the pressure right. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Daniel Jones with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Boswell good with the extra point.
And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25.
Tagovailoa and the Dolphins come up 1st and 10
at their 25-yard line. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Oh, yes, that was good pressure applied that time by the defensive unit. They forced him out wide to his left, but with nobody home, he decided to tuck it and go, and he's able to turn it into a short gain.
Second and 8 coming up.
And he'll push his way forward to about the 32.
This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
And the Steelers now in the nickel here on 3rd down. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. A big play there for the Dolphins. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. And this one is incomplete.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Here we go. Under 10. 10. Pick the edge. Pull pink. Joker.
Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's brought down after a very nice game. A big play there for the Dolphins.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to. They didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Salvon Ahmed, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7. Touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. Out of the end zone comes Johnson. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Play clock down to 0, and this is not the way to start a drive. The offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. They hand this off to Harris. And able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a 2nd down and 6.
Looking to throw. Jones. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Harris. It'll be a gain of just a yard, and it'll be third down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Jones to throw on third down. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Picked off by Jerome Baker. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. So that one a disaster. A big loss there with second down coming up.
Let's get it. Down. 32. Cut. Check 93's a Mike. Strike. You check 93's a Mike. 93's a Mike. I got you.
Off of play action. Tagovailoa. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up third down.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Throw right side, going to be caught here by Waddle. And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and it passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Here's 2nd and 10. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. Powering through at the 35. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 61 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run with Harris. Strong run, but he's corralled just beyond the 40.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Back to throw. Jones. He'll get this to his tight end. That's Pat Freiermuth. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 45-yard line.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. And they run with Harris off the option. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Looking to throw. Jones. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Javon Holland. And the Dolphins are going to take over here at their own 22-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it. And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line. Obviously, you got to hold on to the football, but I've got to give credit to the defense there. Good job of knocking it free.
Yeah, because a lot of the time we just blame the offensive players for not taking care of it. How about the effort of the defensive players knowing that guys are going to, and if they're good, anticipate the contact coming and try and cover up the football. And they still find ways to knock it free. Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
5 yards remain on 2nd down. Back to throw. Jones. That's into the hands of Isaiah Coulter. And out of bounds right around the 20.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Harris. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Najee Harris, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. And that is off the left upright. It's no good.
frustration after the PAT miss.
And here's Jakeem Grant from his end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They fake the handoff. Now Tua. This taken in by Jakeem Grant. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Second and 7.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go. Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush. Do it. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
On 3rd down, Donald. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Tua sets up to pass it. Now they go screen. It's complete. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he'll be taken down at the 26.
Well, that was a beautifully executed screen pass. They let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front, completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10.
Flushed out right. And he'll just get rid of it.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Second and 10.
Yeah, let's go sack lunch.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Open man is Waddle, complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. Sanders' kick is good, and that will do it for this first half. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. On the return from his end zone is Grant. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Six yards left on 2nd down. On play action, here's Tua. Well, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's the ex-Dolphin, Minkah Fitzpatrick. And he brings this one back. It's a pick six for a Steeler touchdown.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that will tie our game here in the 3rd. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And they just had that pick six. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over.
Tua hit, and the ball is out. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score.
so many times tight games decided by one big play. And a lot of times, of course, it's the offense. Here, it's the defense coming up huge.
And you know head coaches walk around locker rooms, walk around bench areas saying, guys, somebody make a play. It's a cliche, but it applies here.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple. Tua going to throw. That's going to be caught by Waddle. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Another catch there for Waddle. 7 yards the pick up there.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
2nd down and 3. And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From midfield, here's Tua. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. And some room to roam now. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jakeem Grant, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Sanders on for the extra point. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd quarter. Boy, hard to ask for a better game thus far. 27 apiece is our score as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And their lead has evaporated in this third quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. And they'll begin by running the option. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and make sure he spills it for a small gain.
Here's 2nd and 9.
They'll try the right side with Harris. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. Calling a loss of 2 there on the play. And it'll be 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And it'll be Dolphin football. 1st down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Working with 2nd and 5 now.
Check 93's on the outside. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. Here we go. Check 93.
Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he's got Fuller. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
From the gun, it's Tua.
Oh, that's into a double team, and it's intercepted.
The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it.
Well, I think it's safe to say that the third quarter's not been a whole lot of fun for him. A couple of interceptions thrown. He seems to be a different man here in the second half.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he's got it up over the 40 to the 41.
96 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
From the 41, Jones eluding the pressure right. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a 3rd down situation.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir, able to turn that into a positive gain.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
I get the thought process. Third and short, give it to the fullback, let him bulldoze his way. But that means you're counting on your offensive line to win the line of scrimmage, aren't you?
Yeah, there was just a mass of bodies there at the line. Looked like more defenders than offensive guys. Winds up losing yardage. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked out at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 16. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Here's Tua. Going for the deep ball. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming. Check, 93's the mic. 93's the mic. 65, 65. 65. Check, 93's the mic. 93's the mic. Bring it. Bring it. Listen.
Now Tua. Flush to his right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Michael Pilardi now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Fielded at the 43. And he's out of bounds just before the midfield stripe at the 49. 39-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the 4th quarter. James Washington was the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. By the way, I got to apologize because I just realized for about the last 4 or 5 plays, I'm eking over into your territory up here in the booth. My bad. I'm going to get back over to my spot.
Yeah, we're not talking about our on-air commentary. I mean, what is all this extra paper? I mean, this is unusual for you.
My bad.
Normally you run a really tight ship. What's going on here?
Just like that incomplete pass, I'm going to try to tighten things up here for this next play. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
Both teams working on short rest, but this has been one of the better Thursday night games we've seen as they come up here on 1st and 10. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Jalen Phillips. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Another try after the first down sack. Jones escaping the pressure right. And he wisely will throw that one away. Field goal from this spot likely out of the question. They've got to get closer here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. Flushed out right. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This to break our 4th quarter tie. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th. What a tough spot to miss a kick. Just an absolute letdown.
Look, they got themselves in the field goal range, gave them a chance to take the lead. They come up empty, and now you wonder, will their offense ever see the football again?
Yeah, because on the other side, one through the post, and this thing could be over. 2 and now on 1st down. Rush coming, and he's taken down. T.J. Watt able to record his 5th sack of the season. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Watch out, watch out, watch out. Go. Check out route.
On 2nd down, Donald. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 62 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for him.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Donald. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the 1st down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Check 13.
Now Waddle on the jet sweep. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Now a handoff here to his running back. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. By the way, you'd be looking at about a 47-yarder from here as they come up on an important third down.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26.
Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive lineman, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. And a give this time to the tailback. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the first.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he stopped immediately there. Now the Steelers use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
And to give this time to the tailback. And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Now the Steelers going to use their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down.
This has been an up and down, back and forth type of a game, hasn't it? Maybe this long drive could take a little bit of the wind out of their sails, kind of settle things down a little bit.
Sanders is good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. Going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Miami, they fall a game under 500 now at 3 up and 4 down. And they'll get a few extra days to savor this one before they take on the Cleveland Browns. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they fall for the first time this season after 6 wins to start the campaign. And they'll be back home next week as they're set to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.